is everyone is up in arms about not enjoying the game, not liking the game. So we're going to talk about a few things as to why we're not liking the game, what things we can do to make it better, what things we're hoping 2K will do to make it better. So that way we start scrolling through the community and seeing more positive stuff instead of negative stuff.
Yeah, it's just a tough start to a game. But I mean, everyone's got their own opinions, so I guess we'll break it down.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm still fairly new to different cycles of 2K, but in the past, what has the sort of changing from when you changed from like 2K18 to 19, 19 to 20? What was sort of the transition? Was everything all smooth? Like, was it like picking up when you picked up 2K20? Was it the same as 2K19?
Yeah. See, this is the thing. I think every time when the game comes out, at first, it's quite a shock. You know, they always try and change something, and but I think the difference is this time they've honed in on say shooting quite specifically, and it's just such a dramatic change as opposed to if other years maybe just changing the whole game all around a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think it's the same. It's a big shock at start, take a little while, and people start to find their way into cheesing the game nonetheless.
Yeah, and I think through all the community feedback that 2K are calling it, they've started to make a few adjustments, and I'm definitely starting to come up against a lot more 3-point shooters nowadays in the online scene.
And like, I mean, if I'm going to give them a compliment, it's that they've been a lot more open with what they're going to do, as in listening to that community feedback and telling you a lot more in depth what each patch is and things like that. So I mean, you got to give them props for that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I always refer to FIFA, and this is the one thing FIFA try to do, and they're slowly sort of getting in on that kind of stuff as it evolves. Like you start bringing your community more involved, you start getting a lot more positive feedback. But it also opens up, if you don't listen to the community will just come crashing down on you.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, we've all seen, I think, over the years, the Ronnie and like community issues, drama, back and forth. But I think Mike Wang seems to be taking the lead here and listening. And what more can we ask for?
Yeah, no, that's right. That's absolutely a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
So like you said, got to give him props. So personally, I am enjoying the game, but I'm getting a lot more frustrated by it, and I don't.
Well, that's it. You've got the different view. So how do you see it coming a bit newer? I mean, from your angle, what is it? Is it I guess you played towards the end of the last game, so you'd still have some opinion there.
Yeah, so like I think the crossover from 20 to 21, it feels a lot different. I think maybe a lot of it's just down to you're back to using pretty basic plays again. Releases aren't the same. I think the change of the shot meter, I think, is what has thrown a lot of people, and I think them trying to make their skill gap that they have, or they're trying to make, it's probably working, but I think they've done it in the wrong way. Like they've made it really hard to score. So. But
do you think it's dramatized by the fact that everyone's starting off? I mean, my team specifically, but everyone's starting off with pretty low players again. And just coming off probably having a pretty opal stacked team towards the end of the year and so on.
Yeah, definitely. I think maybe the other thing that is getting people is probably, I don't think anyone's really spoke on it, is the departure of Quick Draw. They've taken Quick Draw out. So last year at the start, you had people who didn't have Quick Draw, so they had a really slow release. You had people that had Quick Draw. The first few players that had Quick Draw, the release was different. And as you moved on, like when you get into them Dwayne Wade players, the Trey Burke-based people, you give them Hall of Fame range and Gold range. The release is slightly different, and not having that difference anymore, I think, must contribute. It obviously has something to do to contribute to it, because it just isn't the same that it used to be.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because I mean, like say in the park version of it, they've gone back to when you pick your shot, you can pick a percentage, which essentially is quick draw without wasting a badge on it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So in that way, removing it's great, and then you look at it from my team, and it can be harder to judge on what kind of players you want because of the lack of viewing that, seeing if it was Hall of Fame or not, or so on. but I think you'll see quick draw without a badge just come into as the cards evolve, as we get more higher end cards going forward.
Yeah, I see what you mean there.
Yeah, I mean, but who knows? It's 2K, so we've got to wait and see.
Yeah, like I mean, there's still next gen to come, which we believe is a different fish altogether. So, they're pretty keeping that pretty tight. So there's no real leaks that I've heard or seen about any difference apart from like the whole, it's a whole remake. So normally you'd probably have like the odd teaser, but I haven't even seen the odd teaser.
It's been quite quiet, I guess. But I guess having this current gen game is kind of, being new still is overshadowing really like how close we are to getting this next gen version of the same game or of a totally different game. Rather. Yeah. But I mean, is this just like a testing ground? Is that why they've maybe made such dramatic changes in this generation version?
You could probably say that, yeah.
They've got a backup. They've got a backup coming a couple months later,
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Like, if the whole shot meter thing doesn't work, scrap it, go back to whatever, or make a improved version for next gen. You can just label it like the current gen as a trial. Yeah.
I mean, why not? Like you said, and they are engaging in that feedback. So was that the whole point? Make dramatic changes, hear exactly what we complain about back, and try again and kind of master it in the next gen.
Yeah, well, he's hoping.
Yeah, he's hoping.
But while I'm here quickly, if you guys do drop a lock in the stream as we go through, you probably won't see anything pop up. Basically because we're having a podcast, we're interacting, I've turned the alerts off. So I can see that you guys are liking, so I'll get to shout outs as we go through. I have put up a chat box, so people who do drop chat, comments, whatnot, you will be able to see them. I can still see them. I just wait for a time to sort of get a break, and I'll acknowledge likes, and we'll have a read through comments. Please drop like any questions or anything that you guys want to hear about, and we'll get to them. So we got with Jesse's come in with the like, Liam and Nick have come in with the like. Nick Lake come in with the like. Those probably don't know him. He's Fat Waffle Gaming. I didn't actually see how long he caught, but about 10 o'clock on Friday, he attempted a 72-hour stream for, I can't remember the name, but it was for a charity stream. He gets involved in a lot of charity streams. He popped in last night. He said he wasn't going to make the 72 hours, but he was aiming for about 50, and I think he'd been live for about 30. He'd been live for a good 38, 40 hours, I think. So if you're still here, Nick, let us know how long you lasted, and geez, that's just an absolutely crazy effort.
Oh, well done. 50 hours, that's crazy.
So I don't think I'd ever get to 48, or probably even struggle to get to 24.
Yeah, no chance. I can't keep up. Kids, everything else, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Props to him.
Lakers and Celtics are the best two teams this season. See, I haven't followed as much of the NBA, especially I probably followed it a little bit more closely when they got inside the bubble, but all the talk inside the bubble before the playoffs was the Suns, really.
Yeah, but I mean, that was just that was a spirited run. The teams that knew what they were doing were just taking their time, trying teams. It's a typical thing. I mean, all props to the Suns, but I mean, Mavs were close. Mavs, I would have. Yeah, they were good.
Shot meter looks terrible. I think Jesse, like, it's because it's new that it looks terrible, and it's not working for people. It's definitely different. How they use it with the stick, like if you pull the stick down quickly, the shot meter is on the right. If you pull it down slowly, it's on the left.
Are you using the stick?
I'm trying to get into using it a little bit, but I just find that trying to get it in that little spot, you'll you'll pull the trigger down, you go a slight little adjustment. Sometimes you think you won't need to do an adjustment, and you'll be like,
Yeah.
"Yep, that's good," and you like lock the shot in, and it's still wide, and you sort of sit there, scratch your head, thinking, how the fuck do I do this?" And then at times you got to pull it back a little bit more, and you pull it back too far, and it just shoots off to the other side, and you airball, out for an inbound. So it's definitely something that you would need to practice a lot.
A lot. I'm steering clear. I can't let go of the square.
Can't let go of the square. The square is good, but yeah, I just don't think that like my mindset for using it is right there. Like maybe if I was like trying to be like a comp player or something, then yeah, we would definitely look at using the stick a lot more, but trying times.
Do you think there is a slight motivation to push us in that direction? They have essentially given quite a boost to stick users. So do you think that was a clear motive?
Yeah, I think so, because they're talking about wanting to increase this skill gap, and what better way to make a skill gap than make shooting harder? Like,
but just making a complete different skill. I mean, not different, but to a degree, a lot of people just never used it.
Yeah, no, that's right. So I think it's maybe if you want to be a casual player, you still got the square button. It's probably not as effective as the meter, but you want to take your game to the next level, you use this shot stick.
Well, call me casual. I love me square.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. 100% agree with you there. So I don't think I'll ever be in a position where I'll be able to say that I could play comp 2K.
Yeah, nah. Well, I mean, not if that is the motive. If the attempt is to push us to complete stick uses, and I think that would rule a lot of people out that have just been on the square button or on the whatever it is. I think the Xbox comparative. But I mean, it's kind of ruling those people that have been so used to it for so many years out to a lot of degree.
Yeah. Call me casual, but not late for dinner.
Jesse coming in with the dad jokes. Love it.
Oh, wow. Straight over my head. Jesse's allowed to drop the dad jokes now.
Yep. Congratulations.
Zebby coming with that like. How you going this evening, butter? The only problem I'm having is I got a bit of music on and I can't hear it. I can't see it on my mixer on there.
You want me to start singing? Is that what you want?
Oh, maybe not yet.
Quick way to get rid of some viewers, I think.
What's it doing? Sorry guys, I just have. Oh no, it's working. This will teach me for farting around with things. I had things going pretty good. Setting, no, that one. What are we looking at?
So anyway, on a quick little background question here.
Yep.
What have you thought of the packs that have been coming out so far? I guess the clutch and the idols. I mean the season tip-offs. What do you think of those?
The tip-off ones were good. They had some good players.
Yep.
I'm still seeing a lot of like positive feedback from those players. Like I packed the Derrick Rose and I used him, and I actually thought there was someone in a group today talking about me because I played a game and I bring Derrick Rose in off my bench, and I bring him in off my bench, and I think he dropped about 40 points, and they were all just layups and dunks and then just free throws. I should have taken a screenshot, but he didn't miss a shot. He just dunks. He is crazy. He just goes through. He's just a giant slayer, and I ended up beating this guy by a bit. And then later on, about 20 minutes later, I was scrolling through, and this thing popped up, and it's like just got done by this kid. Just got. Hang on a sec. Hello, you going to bed? No. Yeah, and I seen this guy. He's like, "Does anyone have any alternatives to Derrick Rose? Because I just got smashed by this kid spamming square." in the paint with Derek Rose, and I was like, oh, that might have been me. And we were talking. And he's like, well, what turns out it wasn't me, but I was just like, what a coincidence. And I absolutely like just spam Derek Rose, but he's probably my favorite card to use, and he's from that first lot of packs, the tip-off packs. And then the other one you can go through is Gus Williams. And then going back to the tip-off packs, I clipped a few weeks ago when they were still in packs about Larry Bird.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Trumpet. So I said to everyone that was present at the time, I don't think there was that many to be honest, but I said, due to the Bob Cousy, he should rise a lot out of packs.
As in, because you think people will put him into the exchange?
Yeah, because people will put him to the exchange always early on in a game. Like, not everyone's going to have the game, so there's a less supply to start with. You're putting him in, and a few people were sort of like, yeah, but there's going to be other diamonds. And I think at the moment there's, what is there now? There's 1, 2, 3, I think there's 6 or 7 diamonds out. And there's only 2 that are buy. I actually haven't checked Jason Kidd, but I know Alonzo Mourning is a buy now, and all the other ones aren't. And Larry Bird at the time was about 75K, and I checked in, I think during the week, and he'd gotten rid of a buy now, so he was a bit over 100K. I checked last night, there was a bid on one for 160K.
Ooh.
So like, If I took my own advice and I had the MT there, I probably should have bought one myself. But just shows early on, if someone's got a use for something, then the demand is there. And Larry is actually a beast. I got wrecked by him in Triple Threat Online last night.
Lights out shooter, or
lights out shooter.
Yeah.
The guy was actually using the stick.
Hey,
he was stick shooting. He wrecked me with Larry Bird. Just coming off screens with the stick.
Yeah. I mean, that was Larry's game. I mean, well done. He just used it to his advantage.
Yeah.
But I did see you talking about this through one of your streams during the week. And all I can say is it's just a bummer you didn't jump on your own advice, man, because I think you were right. You were really right.
So the shining light out of all that is I didn't sell my Derek Rose when I was thinking about selling him at 40K, and now he's floating around the 90 mark. So
are you going to sell him?
I'm going to keep him. I'm going to keep him for now. I'm just going to see how I go.
Yeah.
So like,
you might get some more posts up about those kids spamming.
Yeah, maybe we'll see how we go.
Oh yeah.
But then we moved on to that was the first midweek one. What was that called? That wasn't Clutch. That was the defensive playery one. I forget the name of it. That one was a little bit. Oh no, playoff stoppers, because it was about defensive stuff. That one, I think, those little promos, I think, are a bit of a dud because there's only a few cards. So it's, I guess, if they're going to drop lots of promos, having less cards in a promo stops there being too many cards available within 2 or 3 months. But also in terms of if you want to put VC into the game, you want to have a good chance to pull multiple like promo players, not just 1 or 2.
Yeah. Do you think that's just like a mediocre pack to get through to the next big pack to try and space it out, or do you think they genuinely thought that was going to be a dub and it just ended up being quite a fail?
I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, I think is if they're always putting packs out regardless of what's in them, as long as they're putting packs out, people are going to spend the money, and that's what they want. So I think in terms of if it comes to them making money, then I don't think they're ever going to listen to anyone. They're just going to go, this is what makes us money, so we're gonna keep spamming that.
Yeah, right. Okay. I mean, I'll be honest. I think I kind of missed the defensive stoppers one. I seen that tip off, but I kind of missed it. But I felt like towards the end of last year, they kind of did that a little bit. They just kind of pumped out certain packs, but I don't know if it helped or hindered to a certain degree by just pumping out numbers. Like, I mean, Did it devalue some other cards? Do you know what I mean? Did some, did it? I guess then it opened up for sniping because some people believe their card was worth less if they already had 4 other, say, Kevin Durant's and another Kevin Durant came out. I mean, that got a bit confusing for me. Sometimes I feel like maybe that's just through pure amount of numbers, but I don't know.
Yeah, so and this is unfortunately another FIFA reference, playing FIFA so many years, FIFA used to drop like one promo a month.
Okay.
And there was like 22 cards from that promo. And then they started making things weekly, and there were like 11 players. Or sorry, so it was like every week it was like 22 players in a promo. So that was just way too much. The market just gets so flooded with so many different options. And that's sort of what happened at the back end of 2K20. Like I think the moments of the week was a great thing.
Yeah.
That was a really great thing. You get to acknowledge like players that are playing good in real life. You just sort of got to put a line through the heat check, and they haven't got the heat check out this year, which is a good thing. I think the heat check was just a waste of money. It was just card pack fillers.
Yeah.
But the moments of the week was really great. But then come the end of the year when they were bringing out the throwback moments, there was, and even the Spotlight Sim packs, they were...
Is that like the Westbrook, Dame Lillard, and everything like that?
No. That was the one that they had all the animated pictures where if you played really good with your player, you sent them a screenshot, and if they had a really, really good game, they'd get a moments card, and they would be in a week of a pack. I think that, like, I guess in a sense, like, if you spammed a game with one player, did really good, you could be like, hey, I got that guy a card. That's kind of cool, but it was a bit irrelevant because I think at that stage, that's when the game had started to die. No one really wanted to open the packs midweek. Everyone was just waiting for the weekend promos.
Yeah.
And so far, the promos that they've dropped, you obviously can see a trend of what they're trying to do is they do a midweek one, which, like, I'm not a big fan of them constantly pushing cards. What you said, you liked the pack. I think because it comes with a challenge, it's not bad. Sort of how they did the spotlights last year, but they've gone a different way. So they're trying a different thing. So, like, got to give them props. I think the only downside is that it would be good to get some Evo cards like if they brought out that midweek one, you complete it, you get a Sapphire player for completing it. But at the end of the day, you're like, well, what am I going to do with this card? I'm never going to use him. He's just sitting there. And yeah, he locks in for a Bill Russell, but why not make something like that an Evo? Because that's what was so good last year about the Spotlight Sims, is that you finished the first one and you got an Evo card.
Yeah, and then gave you a whole nother, I guess, challenge and thing to strive for in involving that card, I guess, after. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. I can't say anything to that. I think that would be ideal. And I guess we can just hope that it's in next gen, I guess.
Yeah, so they the way they were talking, they really wanted to push the Evos this year, which I think because of how well the Evos went last year, and I guess maybe in a sense it's good they haven't dropped many Evo cards yet, because the back end of last year they had to give players Evos, and it was just not really anything to it. Like the Evo grind at the start of the game was really good, and then it died. So maybe they're holding off. They got something bigger and better planned for the Evos for this year. So I can only hope that's what I'm hoping is going to happen, which is why we haven't seen many Evos yet, apart from the starter stuff.
I'm a bit naive to this, but it's a little bit off topic, but in relation, did they have this many duos to start off my team last year?
I don't think they had duos to start off my team. I don't think they had duos till
towards the middle and back end kind
of thing? Towards the middle. Around when they started doing the moments of the week cards, I remember that's when they first brought in dynamic duos.
Yeah.
And
I mean, the only reason I bring that up is exactly right. They said they were going to push the Evo. That was a big success last game, and we want to continue that this game. But I think they haven't had that many, and I've seen all these duos, which I mean is helpful with sometimes with having these lower cards. You can get a little boost by happening to just have another lower card that matches up. I mean, so it can be really helpful in the early stages. So I get it, but do you think then that's made them miss the boat on the Evo side of things?
Hard to say really, because in saying that, maybe that to me that sort of means like they could have brung out some Evos at the start of the game with starter play. Sorry, not with starter players. With instead of having so many dynamic duos, having some of the cards Evos. I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm personally a little bit against dynamic duos, and it's basically because if you want to use a Ben Simmons and you like using Ben Simmons, but you absolutely, or vice versa with Joel Embiid, who's his dynamic duo, you might love using Joel Embiid, but you can't use Ben Simmons to save your life. You feel like you're forced to use the dynamic duo half, even if you don't like the card, because you want that boost. But in reality, do you really notice the boost? Because all it is one card will go up to a ruby or an amethyst or an emerald or a sapphire, something like that. Only one card. The other one will get 1 or 2 ratings. But it feels to me that, like, yes, they've pushed the dynamic duo things, and it's like, well, we want you to use this card and this card. You might like this card, but you absolutely hate this card. But that's all right, because you're going to get a boost. The boost might not be nothing.
Yeah.
But you're going to get a boost. And I personally haven't played anyone or really benefited from having a dynamic duo yet. So, in my opinion, I'm against the dynamic duos. So I say just bring on the Evos.
Just bring on the Evos, tone down the dynamic duos, and push more on the Evos.
Yeah. I mean, unless there is some dynamic duos out there, if anyone out there does know a dynamic duo that just absolutely changes the whole thing. I mean, I haven't used like Kawhi and PG, so I'm not too sure. I haven't used Giannis and Chris Middleton, so they're probably the only other two that would maybe be an exception, but who knows?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think definitely last year it tested to that. Some of those duos, I think, were horrible, and it wasn't worth the boost. The boost was nowhere near worth, like you said, having to play with that other player.
Yeah.
Their boost, it was only half. One card got a major boost. The other one was bugger all, and you're still playing with a quite average player. But I mean, that's why I brought it up. I just feel like they've pushed so hard on that, and I'm not the biggest fan of.
Yeah.
Like, not that I'm not the biggest fan of duos. I just don't think we need this many. I don't think we need this many this quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
I would enjoy grinding a few more Evos than just trying to get some other average card to give me some little boost to my morale.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, if they did want to do like a dynamic duo kind of thing, they could limit it, and they could definitely, especially with these challenges, they could incorporate a dynamic duo. So, like, 1 week you do X amount of challenges, you get, let's say for an example, a Emmy Ben Simmons, and he has a dynamic duo with a card to come. So, I guess we could take the midweek spotlight things, for example. So you complete the set, you get the Sapphire. I think Walt Frazier was the first one. The next week, you get another one, and who I can't even remember. I think it was Mikael Thompson or something like that. So you get both of them. They're a dynamic duo. They get a boost to like an Emmy because they're only a Sapphire. They're never going to be used. If you turn around and you give those cards a dynamic duo with a very valuable boost, you'll get more people to play those challenges.
Okay. I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I was more thinking, what about if it was like more, there was like crazier rewards, a bit higher tier rewards, I guess, like a diamond, a pink diamond, potentially. So the reward is obviously a good card, and then that would boost one of your cards that you already have, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. So you assign a diamond player like a buddy, in a sense that you might like using a Sapphire Ben Simmons, but in a month's time, he's going to be completely irrelevant because there's going to be way better cards. So you can take, say, your diamond card that you're saying, and you can give that Ben Simmons a boost good enough to get him by, and you can use the players that you want. Like, if that's what you're saying. That's like...
brings back the ones you might have had a bit more fun with.
Yeah, and that definitely accommodates the casual players, which, I mean, if they're taking this community feedback, they would definitely like want to be helping casual players, because casual players are probably well over 2/3 of the community.
Well, correct. I mean, and everyone has to start casual. You know, I mean, pro players started casual first, right?
Yeah, right.
You know, so I don't know. That's mine. I think that would interest me personally. So I just sort of put it out there and see if you thought what you thought of it. I guess.
Yeah, no, that's true. How about you guys in the chat? How do you guys feel about the duos? Do you think there's too many? Do you think there's not enough? Do you like the boost that they give? Do you not like the boost that they give? Actually, the one thing that I've noticed from 20 to 21 in terms of the duos is that, or the ones that I've actually looked at so far, you don't get badge upgrades. Whereas in last year, you were getting badge upgrades. I know for a fact when they brung them out, Paul Pierce and Rajon Rondo from the Kobe set, Rondo got upgraded from, I think, gold to Hall of Fame clamps. Like, at the time, when Hall of Fame clamps is so ghost, it's like a ghost town. Like, you don't see many players. I think that was at the stage when, like, Giannis was, like, the only Hall of Fame clamps player.
Yep.
So that kind of thing is a bit more enticing with the badges. At the moment, I think the duos are literally just the stats, and I think they can't really do the badges because of the badge applying system.
Yeah, and I mean, that's another topic too, the badge applying system.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I don't like that at all. That was part of the duo. It was that those certain badges made those huge differences. Like Rajon Rondo, Hall of Fame clamps. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
what I mean? Like that's the thing that probably the only thing that won me over with duos, was those potential overpowered stats for certain players.
Yeah, well, I think back to the Wade and the Shaq. Shaq had a horrendous 3-ball, or like really, really average 3-ball, and you used him with Wade, and he got like a plus 33 ball, and he could start sinking greens with his threes. That was like probably the most fun that I'd had, running around, speed boost and shooting threes with Shaq in triple threat.
Yeah.
Like, you'd never use Shaq for a 3-point shooter, but he gets plus 30 on a dynamic duo. Hell yeah, that's fun. I'm going to use that.
You're going to go with that, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're going to go with that's what I mean. That's what we're gonna miss out on. Certain things like that. I think we lose that now, and I think we lose that to gain a mediocre badge application system thing that confuses the hell out of me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the badge thing. I believe that's what they used to do in like 2K19 and earlier, and 2K20 was the first year they didn't do it, if I'm correct.
Okay.
But like, the thing that I didn't like about the badges last year is that every time a new promo come out, the best cards, or most of the cards, would have more and more badges, and they would just be creeping up, which I get happens as the game grows. But if you pack a player, the best player in January, in March, say the best player in January was a pink diamond. In March, there'll be a promo, and the worst amethyst in the pack will have more badges and more Hall of Fame badges than the diamond or pink diamond that you packed in January.
Okay.
So that sort of, it felt like that was sort of at the end of it. It was just everyone had all the badges. It was just a matter of which ones were Hall of Fame, which ones weren't. And at the end of the day, the only difference that you were getting was Hall of Fame range, Hall of Fame quick draw, and Hall of Fame clamps. They were really the only real big three that I could remember that, like, if they were gold, oh, damn, they're gold. And like, it was at the point where it's like, if you had gold clamps, gold range, gold quick draw, it was nearly a bad card.
Yeah.
So that sort of felt over the top.
I mean, that's just like the timing, the ending of the game kind of thing, you think?
Yeah, that was the ending of the game. As the game grew, people had more badges, this and that, so on and so forth. So naturally, having more badges as the game grows was the way to go, but I think it was just accelerated way too fast. And then it just come to a stop. It come to a point in like April where it just about didn't matter like what badges, because everyone had all the badges pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, Yeah, and I think that's what makes it such a shock to start this season off, start this new game off again, is we're going back to, like, bugger all. When we were at it, that last memory was, like, getting cards with crazy badges, right? Like 50,
Yeah.
60 amount of Hall of Fames and gold and things like that. And I think, like, we just have to that's hard to remove out of your memory when you first start this game.
Yeah.
And it makes it feel, that adds to this dramatic, like, hatred of the shot meter, is also the fact that these cards are, lacking in badges like crazy compared to what we just were playing with.
Yeah, that's right. And that's sort of, like, that's probably why I enjoy it, because no one likes buying a new game, spend the $150, whatever it is, on the Mamba edition every 12 months to pick the game up and go, oh, I can green again straight away. This is exactly the same as the last game. Why did I pay $150 every single year to get the exact same game? And that's what people were complaining about at the start with the demo. And I sort of stayed away from the demo for that reason. I got into this and I was sort of... It frustrates the hell out of me, but at the end of the day, I still really like it because it is not the same shooting mechanics as... Well, at the moment, it's not the same shooting-wise as 2K20, whether that's because they've applied whatever they have or it's just adapting back down. So if I was able to pick it up and just green all day, I'd be probably bored of it by now.
Yeah, I think everyone would be. I mean, and I think there's going to come to a stage where, not that everyone will be greening, but it will become easier as the year goes on. We get these crazier, better cards and so on, and we learn a bit more about this badge system, I think. The exchange will grow. I think it'll get a little bit easier to a degree, and then we'll kind of level that skill gap out a little bit. There'll still be that, but I don't think it'll be this crazy thing that we have at the moment.
Yeah. I literally just went blank.
Hey?
I literally just went blank. I was just about to talk about something that you literally just mentioned, and it just went straight out of my mind.
You're all right, man.
Can't even remember what you said.
Run to the toilet quickly, brother.
What was that? Sorry.
Just have to do the quick run to the toilet.
Yeah, no. You're right. I got a couple of comments here that I can have a quick read of. Derrick Rose, one of your favorites? Yeah, Derrick Rose is probably my favorite card at the moment. There's not really, like, I'm not great at the 3-point shooting, so having someone like Derrick Rose is who my play goes through. Don't have a game yet. Hopefully this week coming. Whew. Get yourself keen, Jesse. Get yourself keen. Hopefully you can pick it up, brother. Pick it up. Come jam with us. See what we're talking about when we say that we're struggling. But, yeah. In all honesty, what do you think the biggest change from 2K2021 is besides shooting in the packs? That one I'll have to have a quick little think about, and we'll bring it up with Corey when he gets back from the little boys' room. But do apologize, guys. I've got music on in my background. For some reason, when I was testing it before, it was all working fine. Oh, is it because... No, it's not because of that. Right. No, it's not that either. What did I do? Oh, now I lost my music. Where did it go? Wasn't that?
Sorry about that one, pal.
No, you're right.
Oh, mate, bit of amateur out here, We're all learning. What do you both think is the biggest change from 20 to 21? Did you answer that?
No, I didn't. I was waiting for you.
Oh, the everything. Shooting. It's. I mean, besides shooting, it's. I think it's not the craziest difference. There's, you know, there's those trial type things. I think like with this badge system that I'm trying to avoid getting too deep into because, like I said, confuses the hell out of me to a degree. I mean, there's obviously like that the opening the vaults and picking cards. There's those little minor changes to different ones, but I mean, I don't think it's that crazy different. I think it's just we've all had to hit refresh and start basic cards again, and it's the grind. You know, I think it's just the shooting. I think that's the craziest difference.
Yeah. So for me, I think the biggest difference is obviously the introduction of the level system and the challenges for the XP. I think that it's a great idea, and it gives you something to turn on and go, oh, I'm going to do this challenge. But the thing is, it forces you to play unlimited, which can be really, really hard for a very casual player, especially people who are first time, don't play very often, they just want to play casual 2K. They're going to struggle to get that pink diamond Steph Curry because there's so many games that you have to do unlimited. You have to win a game of unlimited. You have to score so many points with a certain player. And that player might not suit your play style. So there's things like that force you to play the game modes that go online and you play against some of the most toxic people going around because, you know, when you play online, it's you're playing to win. You're not playing to lose 100%. So you're going to do whatever you can to win. So, I mean, it's really good to have the challenge system, but like Tane was saying the other week in stream, it makes it a chore.
Yeah, I've seen him say that, and I mean, I kind of agree. It is quite like a chore, you know. It's just like it's giving me another grind that I feel to a degree is a little bit of a waste. Um, like in a way, as in not a waste. I mean, it is great, but it forces me to do certain things that I really don't want to do or don't enjoy as much as other aspects of the game.
Yeah.
You know, unlimited can really do my head in, and I can really get annoyed with the toxicity and certain people in the game, and so I avoid it a lot of the time, and I like my domination and so on. I don't know. I just feel like it's forcing me certain ways, and I don't know if I like that side of it. I guess.
Yeah, if they could like remove the whole like having to do it online, like if they give you an option, you could do it in limited or unlimited or triple threat online, triple threat offline, domination challenge, whatever. If you could choose what game mode you wanted to do it in, it would be a hell of a lot better. Yes, it would like make it easier to abuse, which is probably why they have some unlimited things because everyone would probably be already at level 40 and have the pink diamond Steph Curry and be like, oh yeah, ooh, so good, yada yada yada. But yeah, I think it's. I mean, I guess it's still a try and error thing. I mean, like when you think about, I'm not too sure how much longer the season's got, but if I was 2K, I would be making sure that when the season finishes, either this one or the next one, depending on how long it is, and when next gen's release, I would have it so the new season starts again at the next gen launch. So that way, all community feedback that they're taking on board, they can implement straight away to the next gen, into the next lot of into the next season. What if they? Well,
what if they go that way and they scrap it? Just say hypothetically.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good question to be honest, because I don't really know if I've ever seen companies implement things and then take them away unless they're like completely like people like are dead set avoiding the game. And I haven't really heard many people say too much about the levels and the challenges. A lot of YouTubers are promoting. They're like, oh, you know, here's my level 30 ascension video to try and get this pink diamond, which I think that board's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But like we were saying today, it gets the heart racing because you're like, it's like
Yeah.
like playing match again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that I like that. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's a good addition to the game. Uh, but yeah, I don't think they'll get rid of it. I just thought I'd ask the question. I mean, if that goes hand in hand with our potential theory that
Mm.
this current gen of the game is a bit of a trial and error version up until the next gen.
Yeah.
I mean, what about if they spread it out more? So, I mean, this season maybe you could maybe the level's 20, maybe the card's a little bit not as high a reward to begin with, and you can maybe turn through the seasons a little bit quicker rather than having such a high reward. So we have to kind of push you to online games to a certain degree to make it harder. Like, could we not make it
Yeah, I
maybe
see what you're saying.
you can go domination and maybe, yeah, okay, some people will get it a bit quicker, but it's only a diamond reward to begin with anyway, and then we go on to the next one and or so on. And then as those casual guys get better, they'll be able to do it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a like a good way to look at it. Like that definitely does allow you to be casual, and especially if you can't play every day. That's the one thing. Like so far, these challenges they're not too bad in terms of like time to do them, but
Yeah.
like if you are a casual player and you play 1 to 2 hours a day, you're probably not going to be able to get to the level 40 Steph Curry. And then you might get to like level 38 and then you got to try and play like no tomorrow to try and get those next 2 levels, and then you don't get there. You just feel so deflated that you've grinded in as much of your spare time as you could to not get this reward, when if they have a more casual setup, like you said, not as good of a player, only 20 levels, it's a lot easier to get to, makes it so much better for the more casual player to come on and do that stuff. And then they can also do things with their spare time, because if you are a casual player and you're not that great, like you might struggle to get the 3 stars on a domination, but you want to get to the end of domination, but you also want to do challenges. So you're like, do I, get frustrated at the challenge because I'm trying to do it on the hardest difficulty that I already struggle with, or do I tone the difficulty down to try and get these challenges to get this good reward? And if you go ahead and you do like, I might play it on pro to get the challenge wins, and then you don't get the reward at the end, you're frustrated because you don't get the reward at the end, and then you've got to go through and play all those games again to get your end reward for domination.
How about it's a diamond reward? It's 20 levels, right?
Yep.
And then he's an Evo. That card's an Evo. You can Evo to a pink diamond, essentially.
Yeah, that's
so the person that's a bit more, of a maybe not a casual, maybe not a comp player, maybe like a bit like yourself. All right? A lot more than a casual, but not a comp player. Okay, you're going to get to 20 quicker than the casual. So then you've also got the next kind of grind, which is, all right, you got the 20 quick and you got this diamond player, and then you can start the grind to get him to a pink diamond. But then for the casual person, they might only have that enough time in that season to kind of play enough just to get those 20 levels, but at least they got that and they felt like they achieved that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It gives that
that's right.
For the people that are going to get to the 20 a lot quicker, and are maybe waiting for the next season. Well, maybe then it's only a diamond reward, but you've got a pink diamond Evo, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, that's a pretty good way to look at it. I think maybe thinking back, talking about that now, that might be why they have like the Kyle Lowry in there and then the Scottie Pippen in there for the people that can't quite get to the end. I think that might be their way of saying that's for the more casual people. If you want to be a hardcore grinder, that's what you can get. But they just throw that pink diamond in your face. Like, this is what you get for level 40. Like, they don't sort of say, like, for the more, like, there's nothing to promote the more casual grind. It's just like level 40, Steph Curry, pink diamond. It's not like, there's no real spacing out of, you can get a player here and there. Like, I know in this instance, if I am a casual player and I know I'm not going to get to that level 40, being able, instead of scrolling through to see what there is, if there's this level, level 20, Kyle Lowry, level 25, Scottie Pippen, level 30, such and such, then you're sort of like, oh, okay, well, this could be for me, that one could be for me. I want to try and get that one, this one. Whereas you got to go through and you got to scroll all the way through, find where the player is, and then you got to be like, I got to get that much XP. I think like if they promote that there's cards for lower levels, then it does help the casual players. But at the moment, all you see is just Steph Curry level 40. So you think, oh, I got to get to that level 40.
Yeah, and that's it exactly. So for the casual player, he doesn't explore maybe as deep as the other guys or as some of us do. Yeah, they don't see that. They don't know that. So they just see that, and maybe it's a little bit like even deflating. And maybe some people even approach it like I wouldn't even be able to do it, and maybe not even give it a go to a degree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's my only issue with that side of it.
Yeah.
It is that I guess it's kind of deflating to certain people. Like I've got some mates that are pretty casual. They enjoy a good play here and there, but like they were saying, it just seems out of reach for certain, a few of them.
Yeah, and if it's like out of reach, you don't even touch them, and then you do miss out on the odd reward. You miss out on the odd pack and this and that, and you might get on that ascension board and you might get to the top and get that pink diamond. But if you just look and it says level 40, Steph Curry, pink diamond, you think I'm never going to get that, and then you miss out on those chances to get that board and then get those other little players, because all you've seen is that you're going to get to level 40. You need to get to level 40 to get that pink diamond, Steph Curry, and you think, well, I'm never going to do that.
That's it. I think it's but I mean, I guess that's up to us as well. We've got to, if you, I don't know, it's hard. Yeah, I mean, the casual guy, you want him to explore the game a bit more. So maybe that is like why it's a little bit behind closed doors. It gets you reading further in and having a look at the boards and what you gain at different levels. But I don't know. I think it works the other way. I think, like we're saying, just seeing 40 and pink diamond Steph, you just think, oh, well, some dudes are going to have that soon and I'm never going to have that. And what's the point? Kind of.
Yes. Can't agree with you more there.
But I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's obviously the level thing. I think they'll keep it. I think there might be slight changes going to the next gen, possibly, with things like that. Maybe level changes, stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, I don't think there'll be massive changes to that. I think.
Do you think that there is just one main change that they could do, and then it would probably fix all the worries?
Nah. Well, everyone's always got a problem, and I don't mean that badly. Like, we've all got our play styles, and we've all got things that work better. So even if we go back to the shooting issue per se, well, some people have already worked it out. You were saying that in the stream today. Like some people are nailing threes a little bit better already. Not heaps, but there's some already. Like, so if you fix it, do you then disadvantage those guys?
Sorry, I had a barking dog.
Hey?
Sorry, I had a barking dog, and I'd just seen it jumping on the mix every time it barked.
You're right.
Just trying to shut the window.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of lost my train.
No, that's all right. We'll move on.
I mean, sorry, there you go. I was saying that fixed. There's certain people that have already nailed that shot meter, or maybe have gotten a lot better at it. And if we're just looking at like the major shooting issue, so someone that's already worked it out. If we go and put a general big fix per se, if there was one big fix, does that then disadvantage the person that has now finally worked their way good at this way? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think if they can't use the casual way, like the square, but they can use the stick and they remove the stick, yeah, that puts them at a big disadvantage.
I think they could limit the boost slightly for stick users.
Yeah.
Because I think someone that's that great at the stick for a shot is probably already like a pretty good player.
You're right.
And will have some talent behind them. So I don't think they necessarily will need this crazy boost to the shooting. Whereas, by having such a big change, I think it's creating a huge skill gap. But there's no in between, or there's no real like casual can't be a bit better. And by casual, I mean like myself and you, and like it's yeah, someone to me that can nail the shot meter on sticks or already has is probably already a very great 2K player.
Yeah, agree with you there.
Anyway, so I don't think they need such a boost. Yeah, as opposed to the casual, probably could use a bit more help on just the square button or something like that. So
Yeah.
maybe bring that boost back a little bit, or just tone that boost down for the stick shooter.
Well, I think that could nearly be where they could buff the no shot meter a little bit. Like,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
like last year, people play with shot meters, and you'd think, well, why would you not use a shot meter? Because you can see where the shot is. But if you didn't use the shot meter, you got just a fraction of a second more to green a shot.
Yeah.
You know, that is like they've literally gone. You get 0.1 of a millimeter better chance of greening a shot without using a shot meter. And then it's like, if you can mask the stick, it's like 10 times better than using no shot meter kind of thing. That's what they've tried to do. And that to me feels like what they've tried to do. And like you said, if you're already a good enough player to use the stick, chances are you didn't need it anyway. You're just setting yourself further apart. So I definitely think that they've taken a big L in terms of trying to make a proper skill gap.
Yeah, like these things that they've implemented, could that not just be implemented in essentially a competition mode on the game? Like say how we have
Yeah. Definitely.
A competition difficulty.
Like you could make.
I guess Pro-Am is already that if you're in the park.
Yeah.
But MyTeam, maybe a competition difficulty.
So, like, if you went into limited per se, the requirement of limited is you can only shoot with the stick.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that's okay. Well, that's that competition. That's that thing. Like if that's fine, but then it bring it back a bit normal for the every other kind of competition or the every other kind, the normal situation you're in. Bring that advantage or disadvantage back a bit closer, I think.
Yeah, no,
whereas make it more dramatic if you're on park, if you want to go into Pro-Am, put in there, right? As opposed to just general park, where still casuals, still normal blokes want to just get on and have a bit of a play, and make that limited, or make some certain challenges that they're that difficulty or something. I don't know. That's just a rough idea, I guess, a rough suggestion.
Yeah, no, definitely a good way to look at it. Like, make a comp version, make a comp game mode, and have that in the comp game mode, and just remove it from everything else, because you're gonna have, like we said, 75% casuals, 25%, pros, hardcores kind of thing. So give them their own game mode. Like, that's why in like games like Apex and Fortnite and stuff, they have ranked leagues. Like, there's pretty much no difference in terms of using controls and meta things, but you're playing against people who actually want to play like rank stuff. So if they have that in 2K with the shot meter there, well, then that's when it opens up, you'll find who's the better player there in your competition side of things. But if you're just trying to play casual, just go to square. Just hold that square button.
I don't know. That's all my thoughts are for it. Is just have a whole separate mode, a whole separate difficulty, if it's or mode or whatever. We could, it could definitely be done.
Yeah.
But then it kind of, I don't know. I feel like it gives us a little bit more of a level playing ground. Like you said, we could still kind of give maybe a slight better boost to the no shot meter with the square, and that would level it back out a little bit more, and just leave it like that for the casual and you can pick and choose if you want to go that other game mode or if you want to enter into that.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good step in the right direction. I think it would be, but Who knows? That's why we're here talking about a podcast instead of making the game, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But
Hey, any feedback?
yeah, no, definitely good community feedback. So, guys, if anyone else has any other questions, we'll probably wrap it up very shortly. We've been live just over an hour. It's been pretty good. Just a little bit triggered that I couldn't get this the background audio to come in, so all you can hear is just like talking and this and that. So having a nice little calm beat in the background probably would have made things a bit better. So you know,
Just waiting for our foghorn voices.
yeah, that's right. So great podcast, guys. Appreciate that, Jesse. We'll like hasn't been as interactive, but it's good to sit here and talk. People can obviously watch this back if they want to. I have got the record button going, except I pressed a little bit late. So I was contemplating sort of cropping and editing a little bit and throwing it on YouTube as well. Something like that. But we definitely won't stop at one. It's not like, you know, it's been the greatest response so far, but in saying that, it's only the first one. It's not like everyone knew about it and whatnot. So we'll definitely give it a go. Might give it a go again in a couple of weeks. Probably get Corey back on again. He asks him good questions and he has good opinions, and we'll get someone else maybe that can. Maxie always asks a lot of bloody questions, so maybe he might be a way to go, or we'll tee it up one week when Big Tano's back from work and we'll get him going.
Get him on.
We'll get him on and pick his brain and whatnot. I suppose he'd be all right for a 2K chat, and then you can also sort of talk about some streaming kind of things.
That's it.
Open up to a few different things. There was another streamer, Mumba Jord. He said he'd be keen to come on, so we get him on one week and we could just talk park, stuff like that. So
mix it up.
Definitely mix it up. So we're pretty much we're going to end that there. But I got one more question. How long have you been playing 2K this week? 2K. How long have you been playing 2K for?
Like how many years?
Yeah, how many years have you been playing 2K?
My first one was 2K11.
2K11. Wow, way back when.
Yeah. So that was my first one. But I mean, personally, I probably didn't explore much outside of my career up until probably the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Last few years. It was just really that my career grind, and I stuck to that. And then just to play now with, mates over and that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what it was back then. Because that would have been. Was it PS3? No, it would have been before. No, it was PS3. Oh yeah, because 2010 FIFA World Cup was PS3. That's when I got a PS3.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 2K11, man. There you go.
So it's about to cross over into its third console generation.
That's it. I'm excited.
My first 2K was like the back end of like 2K15 was out, and I was like, I want to play a basketball game, and I went over to EB and they had like 2K14. I think it was the one that had LeBron on the front. Yeah. And I just started playing my career and just grinded a bit. And I was like, could not figure out for the life of me why I couldn't dunk, going forward. And then I was like, yeah, I like this. And my housemate at the time, he was getting into it. So we pre-ordered 16 and we come across my team right at the start. And I was like, oh, fuck, yeah, this is fucking awesome. And yet from there, I was like, grinded it for a year. And then I got 17. I grinded that for a bit. And then a mate got me back into FIFA, and I was like, oh, yep, nah, sorry, 2K, bye-bye, FIFA's back, and then the start of like just before 20 come out, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go pick up 20 just to play in the downtime, and like the Evos is what kept. Well, like if they didn't have Evos, I don't think we'd be sitting here right now. To be honest, I honestly don't think so. That kept me going, and that kept me going the whole year because like it was the best way to make MT, and it was like the best way to enjoy a boring grind. So like
no, I agree.
So, and then like over time when things get a bit boring, I started to move on to a bit of my career, and my biggest problem for my career is by the time I go and hop into my career and I actually stop playing the games and I get out in the neighborhood, my rep's so low that it's so hard to get a game.
Big game.
And then when I
Yeah.
do get a game, it's just against the high rated cheeses.
Yeah.
So it sort of turns me off. And not having, like, if I play with casuals, I don't care if I get, screwed over by cheeses all the time. And when I'm playing on my own, you just sort of want to enjoy it. And
That's right.
you can't enjoy it on your own, like, and have fun unless you got your mates kind of thing, or you're sort of just shredding up. So that's sort of what keeps me away from career most of the time. But, getting back on, you guys are like bringing in the my career kind of thing, which is good. So
yeah, it's a few in the community like the park and that as well.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll have to give it a go. We'll get a few of us in there.
Yeah. Hit up some pro-am, something like that.
That's it.
Start a pro-am team.
But, man, well, I appreciate having me on. And
no worries. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. More than welcome to join one week. We can look at getting you on one week, Jesse, if you want to talk some 2K. You get the whole series of 2K and live NBA from 99, 2000 onwards. No, that's a collection and a half.
I like that.
Yes. Should I actually was thinking, because I was thinking at one stage I want to do some retro stuff, and I heard you when you were in Fly Nation stream. You were talking about his Boom Shakalaka emote.
Yeah.
And I thought, because I have got the thing, well, I thought I had the thing to play a PlayStation 2 through my capture card, but I got it the wrong way around. I got the output and the input mixed up, and I didn't check the photo when I bought it, but it was only really cheap, so it's just a matter of getting that one. And I thought could probably get some old 2K games from the old PlayStations and bust them out or something like that from back in the day, but we'll just keep going with this for now, and that'll definitely be on the cards one night.
Yeah, awesome. I'm keen. Let's explore.
That's it. But anyway, you guys have been great for being on. Corey has been an amazing guest. If you are in the chat, let's get some GGs for Corey. And we'll catch you all probably tomorrow night. We'll be back on the 2K grind again. And feel free to watch this back if you didn't get to. Well, I suppose if you didn't get to watch it, you probably wouldn't be hearing me say this. But nonetheless, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
See you, man.